Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Mark from SolarGames. Long time no chat. It's been a while since I made a video of some sort. Today we're going to be actually pretty simple. We're going to give a quick market update on Grand Archive because if you have not been looking, by the way, Grand Archive's market is insane. Holy shit. Okay, so for those of you who are living under the rock, not believing in Grand Archive, don't play the game, etc., right? Let me update you on what's happening on this little, mini card game that's not going to survive even beyond a year, right? Everybody, we just had our Worlds, tournament. Anyways, so Grand Archive recently just released their set 4. So this is kind of like the expansion set. But like I said in my previous video about Mercurial Heart and how that set is basically never, it was set to not fail. I mean, given all the lessons learned from Fractured Crown, there was almost like 0% chance that, Weebs was going to do anything crazy to basically put the set in jeopardy upon release. And let me tell you so far, 100% of what I said is true. And maybe some more. Like, there are things that honestly I didn't even expect. So the first thing is Mercurial Heart, this set right here, latest set of Grand Archive, is doing super well. The set is pretty big, a lot bigger than basically Fractured Crown, like double the size. But realistically too, there are a lot of exclusive cards that aren't even in here. And they're actually in these Recollection boxes. So the specific like competitive decks for Tristan and Sylvie, right? Basically Grand Archive has built the same expansion set, but made it totally different. So this set, for example, has a CUR, Collector Ultra Rare. The Collector Ultra Rare, for those that don't know, is basically a card that is super rare, that is, has rarity beyond even cases. I think it's like about 1 in every 3 case. But actually, Collector Ultra Rare might even be more rare than that. So, but basically, that card has serialization too. So now for this set, it's going to be, I think, 72 serialized cards. So there's 72 individual cards out there that you can, find. So that's the chase item. Then underneath that, there's still going to be CSRs. So these are the Collector Super Rares, which is more common in other sets so far. So again, Collector Ultra Rares is something that we only experience in Dawn of Ash First Edition. So these are the Kickstarter boxes that had Collector Ultra Rares. Now there's a Collector Ultra Rare only in this box, but there's only one. In Dawn of Ash, there were, I think, 12, right? One for each champion. So I think 12 total Collector Ultra Rares. In this, only one, okay? And so far, okay, so that's number one. Is the whole set size is much bigger, so you actually have to open a lot more boxes to even have a full play set of everything. Number 2, Collector Ultra Rare inside the set. Number 3, print runs. So print run for this set is drastically lower than Fractured Crowns, right? About like a little bit more than a third, but less than like a fourth. So that range of like print run. Sorry, more than a third, less than half print run size compared to Fractured Crown, okay? Now, because this first edition, technically, Weeps can then at a later point print a second edition, essentially giving more cards to the pool. But the way that the second edition, or alter in this case for this game works, is that usually the box will change, the cards that are inside are going to be changed, so it's not even going to be the same product, essentially. So it's a little weird. We've never actually seen what that alter version would look like. And even if we do, that won't be for like another maybe year or so. Like a couple more sets in the future, they may come back and print an alter set of Mercurial Heart if there's actually a need for this product. So far right now, we actually have an opposite issue in the market. And that issue is we don't have enough cards for players, right? And it shows. So if you've been looking at pricing, this box, I believe MSRP is like 74, I believe. Something like that, around 70 something, right? But right now on TCG Player, this box sells transactions at $100 each, okay? So that is insane. It's really good for the stores, for distribution, for everybody. And as far as I can tell, in like most of America, this thing is sold out. Like, requesting any more boxes from distribution, can't get any more, okay? So there may be more boxes in other regions like Asia, Australia, etc., but there's no more in US, North America. So that is actually pretty insane. So that's what's driving the prices up. Now, long term, not sure if that's a good thing, but short term, honestly, this is a big turnaround. And part of this is like, I've actually talked about this in another video, right? Not related to Grand Archive either, is that if you want to have player confidence in your game again, where players and collectors all feel like they can buy the product and not feel like, whatever they pay for, let's say $80, it turns down to like $60 or $40 a month later. Well, this is how you do it. You shock the market. You supply shock the market. And I think a lot of players weren't ready for this, right? A lot of players think, and even though the set size was much bigger, it's totally different. But I think the fracture crown kind of like memory was still pretty set. So a lot of players were thinking this is just like fracture crown, meaning it's a smaller set. It's you don't need to buy a lot of the product to be able to open for play sets. But realistically, I think you probably have to open about 2 to 3 cases if you want a play set of everything. For the ultra rare cards, maybe even more than that. So that's a little tricky, but that's the current stance of that. Now, around this time though, something else happened, right? These Recollection boxes from the same set also up, but that was expected because these, I think they were printed about 6,000 or so each. And this value of this box is insane. So you get a whole deck, right? That's a pre-build, pre-con deck. But unlike, pre-cons from, let's say, Wizards of the Coast, what you actually get in here is the whole deck, but every card that you have one of in the deck, you have the other 3 in the like augmented sideboard. It's not really a sideboard, but just they basically, for every card you have in this deck, you're gonna get a whole playset out of the box. Okay, that's already pretty cool. Then they add in other fun things. There's I think 3 booster packs in here. Yeah, 3 Recollection booster packs where you can get an exclusive CSR of Sylvie or Tristan from this deck. You also then have like 100 count Dragon Shield sleeves that are the art sleeves of this deck. So like you get like a nice Sylvie sleeve or whatever. So, and the MSRP for this was like $50. So it's insane amount of value for $50. And then, so of course this thing instantly sells out just like the other things too, right? So at this point, we're not even like 2 weeks into release of Mercurial Heart and the product is completely sold out. It's insane, right? Now I still have more products because I kind of foresaw this and I did order a bunch. We've at this point filled every patron's order. So I still have personally more boxes, but honestly, I might just keep them for myself because I do like this set a lot and I'm kind of also hunting for a CUR. So maybe that's where I will open all the boxes and have, that. But like I said, guys, like, if you take a break and you kind of like, you blink and you forget what's going on and you think this company is just going to be like Wizards of the Coast, be like other companies out there that don't care about the players, that don't care about the market, you're absolutely wrong. I mean, they're just showing it. Okay, so skipping MRC a little bit, let's talk about ALC, Alchemical Revolution. This is boring, right? This is from January this year. This is set 3. It's a set that's been out for a while. Well, guess what? This one also out of print now, right? Basically, at this point, all distribution in North America, I cannot get any more products. I have a lot of them because there was a point where, for whatever reason, stores were dumping these like crazy. So I just said, hey, everybody who's dumping, sell them to me. I did the same thing for Fracture Crown. I never looked back because now that's how I have like I think 5 or 6 of those CPR Creative Shocks now because again people were dumping them, so I said whatever, I'll take them, crack the boxes, trade them in for CPRs, make play sets, sell them, whatever, right? I have like a Gawain like farm somewhere. There's like I think there's like 24 Gawains in a box somewhere. Alchemical Revolution, right? No CURs, CSRs only. Pretty big set, right? Of course. But also very playable cards for the current meta. This box currently, I think MSRP was like, I want to say like, it's got to be like $79, right? $79. This box right now is on Marketplace, $135 average price, right? So, and those are the prices that are being sold. I personally sold like 5 of these boxes for $135. And when the patrons had access to them, I sold them for like $90, I think. Initially on the pre-order with my patrons, they got these boxes for $85 or $80, I forgot. Like some ridiculously cheap price, right? $90 was the second wave. I mean, in fact, I shipped a bunch of $90 boxes out to patrons last week, okay? Mercurial Heart, when I was selling these on Patreon, $70, right? the thing is, like, to me, right, I want to make sure players play the game, and I want to reward loyalty. So that's why I treat my patrons this way, okay? Now, if you're not a patron, obviously, then pay the market price. Look, that's fair, right? Because you don't want to, like, you're not part of the support for SolarGames. That's fine. Like, you want to de-risk. It's totally fine, right? But for the patrons who have been with me for a long time, yeah, you're going to get these things at really good prices. These I just sold at like MSRP, $50 each. You get 2 of them. Sorry, it's not really a Patreon. I'm really trying not to make this into a Patreon ad for myself, but Patreon, okay, Patreon, SolarGames Patreon. I do have a Patreon. For $5 a month, you can, of course, just chat with me. But for $15 and $20, I think, is the other 2 tiers, you can actually buy products from me, and then you could get a certain amount per month from me per order. Magic cards, Magic stuff, and also Grand Archive stuff is what I mainly offer. Pokemon, if you request, I can usually get stuff to you, but Pokemon's a little tricky because I really don't know anything about it. So, yeah. So anyways, like, I'm telling you guys, like, right now, so far, Grand Archive's secondary market is crazy hot, okay? For such a small game, it is very, very, very hot, which means maybe we're reaching like some sort of player demand supply curve meet in America. Now, the game still needs to grow, so unfortunately, we're at the other side of the problem, and now I have to tell weebs, like, guys, we need more products in North America. This is not a good thing that we have products at this price, and it keeps going up because certain people, like myself, kind of hoarded too much product in the beginning. So I do think we need to have more products shipped to North America, just so that players have access to them, etc. I think that's probably a good thing. I do think we need to do that. Maybe we've kind of been a little bit too aggressive, but part of this is, I guess, part of the plan. And looking forward, right? I can tell you right now, guys, like, if you don't know, Set 5, the next expansion, whatever, for Grand Archive is going to be even crazier than Set 4. I guarantee you. In fact, for that set, I will be making probably my biggest order of Grand Archive ever. And it's not because, like, I know some things about the cards, whatever. I just, looking at the direction of the company, looking at how they've adjusted print runs and how they adjusted for Fractured Crown. And we always use Fractured Crown because Fractured Crown is like the mistake set of Grand Archive, right? Looking forward at these things, I can already tell you that, like, Set 5 is going to be amazing. So if you like Grand Archive or you've not even heard about it, you want to give it a shot, you want to give it a go, I think right now is a great time to do that. There are a lot of ways to kind of get cards for cheap. You may be able to get full play sets of stuff at, like, your LGS. Like, a lot of the common, uncommon stuff, basically I just give out for free, at the local store, whatever. But if you're, like, online, I have to pay for shipping, so it's a little bit more difficult. But yeah, for, like, that kind of stuff, just give it out for free. There's a bunch of starter decks available too at your store that you could try. Highly recommend this game if you've never seen it, never tried it, never played it. It is a very fun, good game. So I'll say it that way. And if you're a collector, this past week, 2 weeks ago, I went to Worlds for Grand Archive, and I met a bunch of collectors, people who have 5-6 figures into this game who don't play the game at all. And it's crazy. Like, literally meet these guys who, like, have crazy rare cards and they don't know how the game works. And it's insane, but it's kind of cool, right? It's cool that we have really, truly both sides of the community kind of coming together, and it's kind of fun. So I like that part too. So if you're a collector, honestly, Grand Archive, I collect some Grand Archive cards too, right, myself. So as you guys know, I have maybe about, at this point, I would say 6 figures. Yeah, maybe I've just passed 5. Maybe I'm 6 figures into Grand Archive now. So that's kind of where I stand with Grand Archive. I think it's a cool game. I really like the game as a whole. I have a lot of really cool rare cards that I like. So personally, I see a good future for Grand Archive. And again, I'm telling you guys, if for those, this is almost like, I'm just telling you ahead right now. Set 5 of Grand Archive is amazing. It's going to be so amazing. You're going to love it. If you like the Asian culture, Asian history type of things, you're definitely going to love Set 5. All right, that's going to do it for me for today. This is a quick market update for Grand Archive. So I'll catch you next time. See you later. Mark out. Stay classy.